Have you ever noticed that the more desperately you want something, the more it seems to slip out of your hands? Maybe you've wanted that text back from someone, that job opportunity, or that big breakthrough in your life. You stayed up late thinking about it, replaying scenarios in your mind, imagining how it would feel when it finally happened. And yet, the harder you chased it, the further away it seemed. It's almost as if the universe was whispering back, "Not yet." This can feel frustrating, even heartbreaking, because deep inside you know you are meant for more. And still, no matter how much effort you put in, reality doesn't bend the way you want it to. This is where a powerful secret comes in, a secret that almost feels too simple to be real. It is the art of quantum detachment. The paradox is that the moment you stop clinging, the moment you stop caring so much about the outcome, reality starts to move in your favor. Imagine it like this: when you clutch sand too tightly in your hand, most of it spills out through your fingers. But when you relax your hand and simply hold it open, the sand rests peacefully in your palm. This is how desires work. When you grip them with desperation, they scatter. When you hold them lightly, they stay. Now, detachment is not about giving up on your dreams, and it's not about pretending you don't care. It's something much deeper. It's about aligning yourself with trust. Trust that what you've asked for is already finding its way to you. Trust that you don't have to force the river to flow. And most importantly, trust that your worth, your happiness, your energy are not dependent on that one specific thing showing up. The old self says, "If I don't get it, I'm not enough." The new self says, "I am already enough, and what is mine cannot miss me." Take a moment to imagine the version of yourself who is already free from grasping. This version doesn't wake up in the morning and check their phone in panic. This version doesn't spend all day wondering when things will change. Instead, they move calmly, gracefully, knowing that life bends toward them when they stand in alignment. Doesn't that energy feel magnetic? This is the energy of detachment. What many people don't realize is that caring too much is actually a signal of lack. When you obsess, when you worry, when you feel desperate, you are unconsciously telling the universe, "I don't have this yet, and I might never have it." That vibration of absence keeps creating more absence. Detachment flips the script. It sends out a different message. "I already have everything I need. I am whole, and if this desire flows into my life, it will simply add to my joy." From that frequency, things speed up, opportunities knock sooner, doors open effortlessly, people respond to your energy in ways you couldn't have predicted. Think of times in your life when something magical happened, not because you tried so hard, but because you stopped worrying about it. Maybe you stopped looking for love, and suddenly, the right person appeared. Maybe you gave up stressing about money, and suddenly, a new income stream came your way. These weren't coincidences, they were the natural result of quantum detachment. You shifted your state from clutching to allowing, and reality mirrored that shift. So in this journey we're about to take together, we will explore why not caring, at least not in the way you've been taught to care, changes everything. We will explore why the energy of desperation slows manifestation down, and how the energy of surrender speeds it up. We will walk through the science and the spirituality of this truth, and then we will go into practices that allow you to live it. Because this is not just a concept to think about, it's a frequency you embody. If you're listening to this right now, it's not an accident. You are here because some part of you is ready to release the old self, the self that clings, that begs, that fears missing out. And you are ready to step into the new self, the self that knows, trusts, and radiates. This is your turning point. You are shifting from resistance to flow, from force to magnetism, from chasing to receiving. So take a deep breath with me. Let your body soften, let your heart open just a little wider, and as you exhale, imagine releasing the grip you've had on every single desire that has weighed on your chest. Feel the lightness that comes with letting go, because this is where our journey begins, the journey of quantum detachment, the journey of realizing that by not caring so much, by letting go of control, you actually speed everything up. Have you ever wondered why desire, something so natural and powerful, can also be the very thing that holds us back? On the surface, desire is beautiful. It pulls us forward, gives us vision, and inspires us to reach for more. Without desire, life would feel stagnant, without color, without movement. But there is a hidden side to desire, and that is attachment. And the moment desire transforms into attachment, the energy changes. Suddenly, what once felt expansive now begins to feel heavy. What once lifted you up now chains you down. Picture this: you're in love with the idea of creating a new life for yourself. You feel the spark of inspiration, you imagine the future, and your energy is alive. But then, as days pass, you begin to obsess. You start asking, why hasn't it happened yet? What if it never happens? What if I fail? You keep checking the clock of your reality, waiting, doubting, measuring every little sign, and in that shift, from inspiration to attachment, you move from flow into resistance. You've moved from abundance into lack. Think about it like trying to catch a butterfly. If you chase it desperately, running through the field, the butterfly always seems one step ahead. But if you simply sit down, relax, and allow it to land, it often comes closer on its own. Attachment is the chase. Detachment is the stillness that invites, and in the stillness, everything you were running after begins to move toward you. This is the paradox of desire. You absolutely can want, you can dream, you can visualize, but when you cling to it, when your happiness depends on it, you tell the universe, I am not whole without this. And because the universe mirrors back what you are, it reflects more situations that confirm your lack. On the other hand, when you say, I would love for this to happen, but I am already whole and complete now, you vibrate at the frequency of abundance, and that vibration is magnetic. Let's pause here and reflect on contrast. The old self operates from fear. The old self believes, if I don't get this thing, I will never feel safe, never feel loved, never feel fulfilled. The old self clings, obsesses, worries and questions constantly, but the new self embodies trust. The new self whispers, I already am safe, I already am loved, I already am fulfilled, and if this desire comes, wonderful, it will add to my joy. If it doesn't, I still remain whole. Feel the difference in those two states. One feels tight, the other feels free. One feels heavy, the other feels light. Which state do you think reality responds to more quickly? It's not that the universe is withholding anything from you. It's not punishing you for wanting. But the energy of desperation sends out a signal of not having. And as long as you radiate not having, you stay in that loop. Detachment, however, radiates already having. It radiates peace, security, and fullness. And because like attracts like, life begins to reflect those qualities back to you. You may have experienced this in simple moments. Think of a time when you stopped trying so hard. Maybe you wanted someone to text you, and when you finally let go, when you put down the phone and got lost in your own joy, suddenly the notification appeared. Or maybe you were hunting for an opportunity, searching every corner, stressing yourself out, and then one day you gave up the stress, and out of nowhere, the opportunity came to you. This is not luck, this is alignment. This is the paradox of desire. The moment you loosen your grip, what you want starts to find you. Now, let's address a common misunderstanding. Detachment does not mean coldness. It does not mean you stop caring, or that you throw away your dreams. It doesn't mean you say, whatever, I don't even want it anymore. That's not detachment, that's bitterness. True detachment is warm, soft, peaceful. It's a gentle allowing, a calm confidence that says, it's already mine in the unseen, so I don't need to obsess about when or how it arrives in the scene. The reason this works is because of how energy flows. Attachment creates tension in your field. It's like static electricity. It scrambles the signal you're sending out. Detachment, however, clears the static. It makes your signal clean, coherent, and aligned. When your energy is calm and coherent, the quantum field, the invisible web of infinite possibilities, responds instantly. That's why sometimes, the very moment you stop worrying, the very moment you release, things speed up with surprising ease. Let's take an example. Imagine someone who wants to manifest love. If they say, I need this person, I need a relationship, I need someone to complete me, their energy is rooted in lack. Every action, every thought, every vibration communicates desperation. People can feel that. Opportunities seem to slip away. But when that person shifts and says, I am love itself, I radiate love, and I know the right relationship will flow to me when the time is aligned, everything shifts, their energy becomes magnetic. They don't chase love, it starts chasing them. And this isn't only about relationships. The same is true for money, career, health, or spiritual awakening. Whatever you clutch tightly resists you. Whatever you hold lightly flows to you. This is the paradox that confuses so many seekers. They believe the more they care, the more they hold on, the faster things will come. But the truth is the opposite. Not caring, not in a cold way, but in a trusting way, actually speeds everything up. So as you listen, reflect for a moment. Where in your life have you turned desire into attachment? Where have you crossed the line from inspiration into obsession? Where are you holding on so tightly that the energy feels heavy? Awareness is the first step. And once you see it, you can begin the shift, back to trust, back to flow, back to the lightness of detachment. And as we move forward, we'll dive deeper into why this principle is not just psychological, but quantum. Why at the very level of reality itself, detachment allows infinite possibilities to unfold, while attachment collapses them prematurely. Because the paradox of desire and attachment is not only spiritual wisdom, it is the language of the universe itself. When most people hear the word detachment, they imagine indifference, coldness, or apathy. But quantum detachment is something much more profound. It is not about rejecting life, but about embracing it in its most expansive form. It is about understanding that the universe is a living mirror, and the way you interact with it determines what is reflected back to you. At the quantum level, your energy, your focus, your frequency, all of these are signals, and the universe, like a responsive field of infinite possibility, reorganizes itself according to the signal you send. This is where quantum detachment enters. In the unseen field of energy, infinite timelines already exist. There is a version of you who has everything you are asking for. There is a version of you who is already free, already fulfilled, already whole. But here's the mystery. When you obsess, when you force, when you cling too tightly, you collapse those infinite possibilities into a single narrow path. You close the door on other, perhaps faster, ways for your desire to arrive. Attachment is like saying to the universe, it must happen only this way, only through this person, only at this time. And in doing so, you squeeze the infinite into the finite. But detachment is the opposite. Detachment whispers, I trust that it will unfold in the right way, in the right time, through the right channel. And with that openness, the universe has room to surprise you. Doors open you could never have planned. Connections appear that logic could not have predicted. This is the quantum effect of detachment. It keeps the field open, fluid, alive with possibility. Let's connect this to something you may have heard. The observer effect in quantum physics. Scientists discovered that the very act of observing changes what is being observed. When you stare too hard, when you measure and analyze every detail, the wave of possibility collapses into a particle, into a fixed outcome. Now, in manifestation, when you are constantly watching, doubting, and checking, is it here yet? Why isn't it happening? You collapse the wave prematurely. You fix reality into a version of not yet. But when you release, when you trust, when you let go of staring so hard, you allow the wave of infinite possibility to remain open. And in that openness, your desired reality has more space to crystallize. This is why detachment speeds things up. Because you are no longer resisting. You are no longer forcing a single outcome on a timeline that is not yet ready. Instead, you are floating in trust. And from that trust, the quantum field begins to organize reality around your inner state. Imagine reality like a dance partner. When you push too hard, the dance becomes stiff, awkward. But when you relax and allow yourself to be led, the dance becomes fluid, graceful, beautiful. Detachment is the surrender that allows reality to dance with you. Now, let's go deeper into vibrational alignment. Every thought and emotion carries a frequency. Desperation vibrates low. It communicates fear, lack, and uncertainty. Trust, on the other hand, vibrates high. It communicates wholeness, abundance, and security. When you are attached, your vibration is constantly broadcasting, I don't have it. But when you are detached, you are broadcasting, I already am it. And the quantum field matches that broadcast. This is why people who practice detachment often experience what others call miracles. But these are not miracles in the sense of breaking the laws of nature. They are the natural consequence of aligning with the deepest laws of the universe. Think about how water flows. When you try to force the current, you create splashes and turbulence. But when you float, the current carries you effortlessly. In the same way, your desires are currents already moving toward you. Detachment is floating with them. Attachment is splashing against them. The more you splash, the slower you go. The more you float, the faster the current carries you. Let's bring this down to human experience. Imagine someone who wants to manifest a dream job. If they spend every day obsessing, thinking, if I don't get this, my life is over, they radiate fear. They go into interviews. Tense, desperate, needy. People can feel that. Opportunities pull away. But if that person says instead, I know my worth. I trust that the right role is already aligned for me. If this one works out, beautiful. If not, something better is on the way. Then their energy is magnetic. Their calmness, their trust, their quiet confidence communicates abundance, and the universe mirrors it. Suddenly job offers appear, sometimes from places they weren't even looking. This is the power of quantum detachment. It does not shrink your dreams. It expands the channels through which they can flow. It removes the blockage of obsession and restores the freedom of alignment. Now, let's look at another angle. Many people confuse detachment with passivity. They think, if I detach, does that mean I stop taking action? Absolutely not. Detachment does not mean inaction. It means inspired action. It means moving with a light heart instead of a heavy burden. It means doing your part joyfully, and then letting the universe handle the rest. You still plant the seed, you still water the soil, but you don't dig up the seed every day to check if it's growing. You trust the process. You know that what you plant will bloom in its season. Detachment also teaches you to step out of linear time. Most of us live believing that life must unfold step by step, hour by hour, in a straight line. But the quantum field is not linear. Possibilities do not move in straight paths. They leap, they jump, they rearrange. This is why sometimes, when you detach, what you thought would take years can arrive in weeks. What you thought was impossible suddenly becomes possible, because the quantum field is not bound by the clock, it is bound by vibration. And when your vibration aligns, time bends to meet you. Consider the stories of people who surrendered completely. Maybe someone prayed for healing, and the moment they stopped worrying, the moment they handed it over, their body began to recover. Or someone longing for love gave up the chase, focused on their own joy, and within days or weeks, they met the person who would become their life partner. Again and again, the pattern is the same: release, then receive, let go, then let in. So if we bring it all together, attachment collapses, possibility into delay. Detachment keeps possibility open and accelerates it. Attachment vibrates with fear. Detachment vibrates with trust. Attachment forces. Detachment allows. Attachment clings to one narrow door. Detachment opens to infinite doors. This is the essence of quantum detachment. And perhaps the most beautiful truth is this: detachment is freedom. When you master it, you are no longer chained to outcomes. You are no longer a prisoner of waiting, doubting, obsessing. You walk through life, light, magnetic, unshakable. You know that whatever is meant for you cannot miss you, and whatever misses you was never meant for you. From that state you become unstoppable, not because you control reality, but because you align with it. Take a deep breath right now, and imagine yourself releasing every chain of attachment. See them falling away. Feel the space that opens in your chest when you no longer need to force life to happen. That space is where miracles enter. That space is where the quantum field responds. That space is where detachment becomes creation. So far, we've explored the paradox of desire and the quantum truth of detachment. But now the question arises: how do you actually live it? How do you practice not caring, while still holding space for your dreams? This is where spirituality becomes embodied, where the concept turns into a lived frequency, because it's one thing to hear the wisdom, and another thing to embody it in your daily life. The first step is awareness. Most of us are not even aware of how tightly we are holding on. We wake up and instantly check our phones. We scroll for signs, we replay conversations, analyze outcomes, and silently beg the universe for movement. This unconscious attachment creates a loop of resistance. So, begin by noticing. Notice when you feel heavy. Notice when your chest tightens around a desire. Notice when you find yourself obsessively checking. These are signals, clues that you've crossed the line from inspiration into attachment. Awareness alone softens the grip, because once you see it, you can begin to release it. The second step is trust. Trust is not something you force, it is something you build. Just like a relationship grows stronger through consistent proof of love, your relationship with the universe deepens as you collect proof of its timing. Think back to all the moments in your life when things worked out in ways you couldn't have predicted. Times when the wrong turn led to the right opportunity. Times when what you thought was a delay was actually divine protection. Remembering these moments strengthens trust, and the more you trust, the less you feel the need to cling. Now, let's talk about play. This may sound unusual in the context of deep spiritual practice, but play is one of the highest forms of detachment. When you play, you are not desperate for the outcome. You are immersed in joy for the sake of joy. Imagine a child building a sand castle at the beach. They don't stress about whether the castle will survive the tide. They don't obsess over every grain of sand. They simply enjoy the creation in the moment. This is the energy of manifestation at its most powerful, playful, light, free. So ask yourself, how can I bring more play into this desire? How can I approach it with curiosity instead of control? Another practice is surrender rituals. These can be simple, but they are powerful because they signal to your subconscious that you are releasing the burden. You might write your desire on a piece of paper, fold it gently, and place it under a candle. As the candle burns, imagine the energy of your attachment dissolving into the flame. Or you might speak out loud before bed, "Universe, I release this into your hands. I trust your timing. I trust your wisdom." These rituals create a physical action for a spiritual letting go, and the body responds. Your nervous system relaxes, your breath deepens, your mind quiets. Let's not forget self-concept affirmations. Detachment is rooted in identity. The more you know yourself as whole, the less you cling to anything external. If your self-worth is shaky, you'll keep attaching your value to outcomes. But when you affirm daily, "I am enough, I am already complete. Everything else is just an addition to my joy," you anchor into wholeness. This makes detachment natural, not forced, because when you already feel whole, you don't need to clutch. You allow. Mindfulness also plays a vital role. Many times, attachment shows up as a restless mind, thinking, doubting, overanalyzing. Mindfulness interrupts this loop. When you catch yourself obsessing, pause, place your hand on your heart, take 3 deep breaths, bring your awareness back to the present moment. Remind yourself, in this moment, I have everything I need. This simple practice pulls you out of fear about the future and roots you into the abundance of now. And in the now, detachment flourishes. Here's another perspective. Practice living as if your desire has already happened. This doesn't mean forcing fake positivity, but subtly embodying the energy of the end result. If you were already abundant, how would you carry yourself? If you were already loved, how would you move through your day? If you were already free, how would you speak, breathe, walk? Begin embodying that version of you now. This is detachment in action, because instead of waiting anxiously, you're already living the vibration. The universe doesn't bring you what you want, it brings you who you are. Now let's address a key contrast. Many people think, if I don't care, doesn't that mean I'll lose motivation? But this is a misunderstanding. There's a difference between caring lightly and caring desperately. Desperation drains motivation because it fills you with fear and self-doubt. Lightness, on the other hand, energizes you. When you act from trust, your actions feel inspired, not forced. You write the email with confidence, not panic. You take the step with excitement, not fear. You engage with life because you love it, not because you're trying to fix it. That's the true art of not caring. It's not neglect, it's liberation. You can also practice gratitude as a gateway into detachment. Gratitude shifts your energy instantly. When you're grateful for what you already have, your vibration says, "I am already abundant." And from that state, desires flow easily, because you're not asking from emptiness, you're celebrating from fullness. Try this each night before bed. List 3 things you're grateful for. Feel the fullness of each one. This trains your nervous system to live in sufficiency, which is the natural soil for detachment. And remember, detachment is not a one-time act. It's a daily practice, a way of being. Some days you'll feel light and trusting. Other days you'll slip back into clinging. That's okay. Each time you notice, you can release again. Each time you release, you strengthen the muscle. Over time, detachment becomes your natural state, and when it does, you'll notice life flowing toward you faster, smoother, more beautifully than ever before. So the art of not caring is not about abandoning your dreams. It's about holding them gently, like a bird resting in your hand. You love it, you appreciate it, but you don't squeeze it. You let it breathe, you let it fly, you let it return in its own rhythm. And in that gentle space, reality shifts. Take another deep breath with me. Inhale the feeling of wholeness. Exhale the weight of control. Say softly to yourself, "I let go, I trust, I allow." This is the practice. This is the art. This is quantum detachment. Live. As we come to the close of this journey, take a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered together. At the heart of it all lies a paradox so simple, yet so powerful. The less you cling, the faster life flows. The more you trust, the more easily the universe responds. What you desire is not denied to you. It is aligned for you. And the alignment becomes visible when you release the grip of attachment. Think back to the contrast we've explored. The old self, the self that worries, obsesses, checks the clock of reality every 5 minutes, lives in tension. That old self sends out a vibration of lack, fear, and desperation. But the new self, the self that trusts, that allows, that breathes with ease, lives in freedom. That new self sends out a vibration of wholeness, of abundance, of quiet power, and the universe always matches the frequency you live in. So the real shift is not about forcing reality to change, it is about changing the state within you. When you embody detachment, you send out a signal that says, I am already complete, I am already whole, and I know that what is meant for me is on its way. That signal is magnetic. It bends timelines, it rearranges circumstances, it speeds up what once felt delayed, and more importantly, it frees you right now, in this moment. Because at its deepest level, detachment is not just about getting what you want, it's about remembering who you are. You are not the desperate seeker, scrambling for scraps of love, money, or success. You are the source. You are the field. You are the one who radiates abundance and allows life to reflect it back. And the moment you step into that knowing, you are already free, whether the desire arrives tomorrow, or next week, or in ways you couldn't have imagined. So here is the invitation. Release the weight you've been carrying. Release the timelines, the how, the endless questioning of when. Let yourself rest in the now. Let yourself trust the dance of life, and remind yourself daily, what is mine cannot miss me, and what misses me was never mine. With that truth, you move lightly, confidently, joyfully, and life begins to move just as lightly toward you. Take one last deep breath with me. Inhale the fullness of this moment. Exhale the weight of control, and know this: you are already enough, you are already whole, and the universe delights in surprising you when you least expect it. So let go. Trust, float, play, and watch how quickly everything you've been waiting for begins to flow.